This week, I wanted to talk about Rock 7, walking outside in nature. That's one of the 12 rocks of well-being. What are they, Andrew? Well, they are the 12 activities and habits that we all need to carry out every day to build the best version of ourselves in our amazing brain. Our brain builds our mind. So the quality of the experience of being ourselves is 50% down to what we've done in the previous 24 hours. So let's look at walking outside in nature, which is rock number 7. We need to get some walking outside in nature in every day. Why? Well, there are lots of good scientific reasons why, but let's look at one particularly interesting study to do with an area of the prefrontal cortex called the subgenual prefrontal cortex. Now, there seems to be in the literature a link between the subgenual prefrontal cortex and something called a morbid rumination, brooding, going back over and over events, with us at the center of those events, often in a really negative spiral that's deeply upsetting. So there seems to be a correlation between activation in the subgenual prefrontal cortex and rumination. What does walking outside do? Walking outside engages our prefrontal cortex circuits across the prefrontal cortex, opening the prefrontal cortex up and balancing what may have become quite a negative kind of ruminatory experience. And so they did a really interesting study where they asked people to walk through either greenery or alongside a highway, and then they measured activity in their subgenual prefrontal cortex and also gave them a psychological questionnaire just to check what their level of rumination was. And after 2 weeks of one group walking through greenery and one group walking alongside a highway for about an hour a day, they then measured their subgenual prefrontal cortex activity and correlated that against the level of reported rumination. And what they found was a reduction in both the activity in that area of the brain for those people walking through greenery and also a reduction in reported rumination. So it's much more than it just feels good. It's actually about what's going on behind our forehead as different circuits react and respond to nature, and it creates this kind of passive attention, turning on our parasympathetic nervous system, our calming down system, meaning that those dark ruminatory thoughts that might be focused in our subgenual prefrontal cortex aren't spreading out across our mind-wandering network and poisoning the kind of thinking process and making it even more dark and depressing. But actually what's happening is our prefrontal cortex circuits are opening in response to the gorgeous, gentle attention required by nature. So just a bit of background behind the power of walking outside in nature. Take care, everyone. See you all soon.